Godfatherism is a major problem in Lagos, and both Gbadebo and Jandor insist that they would stop Godfatherism.
People are crying about that. People are crying because they are embarrassed by Agros on the road every day, right? Even the bus drivers have now come out to complain.
So it's a story of somebody just pick someone who never prepared to be in office and say, you go and sit down there, so that person can be eternally be at the mercy of the man who has chosen him. So
I'm sure we've heard some people say that this is not a tribal war. If it's not a tribal war, why would some Igbos call Tony ELUMELU a betrayer for going to congratulate Tinubu? Why would some call Cubana chief priest a traitor for supporting Sanwo-Olu? And why would some Yorubas attack celebs like Iyabo Ojo and Mr. Macaroni for supporting Peter Obi?
And this is Lagos State again. You are just give them wrong information. They go, Mr. Macaroni, what is the problem? Oh, they found you to learn. Oh, they say what they call you to me. You are going to one fire go. Most of you to me now. Oh, say you too. Go on, oh, say you talk about to go. Stop what this you are doing, Debo. Mr. Macaroni, what is this? Oh,
you understand? You are the one choosing Yoruba, choosing Igbo, choosing Hausa, choosing me. I'm a Nigerian. Do you understand? I am not in support of any tribe and no tribe. I'm in support of good government.
Also had this serious fight about who owned Lagos and why Lagos is no man's land. Even Gbadebo, during one of his recent interviews, says that it's extremely disrespectful to say Lagos is no man's land.
I vehemently disagree with the idea that Lagos is no man's land. It is extremely disrespectful.
If you say that, do you go and tell some of your party followers? Because that is the core of the core of your party followers are those who are coming out with that narrative. Can you say publicly that they should stop saying?
What's up, guys? First, I want to thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you're yet to do so. Enjoy the rest of the video. Bye. Gbadebo seemed like a decent guy. Likewise, Jandor. Just like every politician before they get into office, would he or Jandor of PDP be able to deliver if given the chance to rule? Well, March 18th is almost here. Well, that's the new date actually. Supposed to be 11th of March, but it has been shifted. Well, guys, we'll come back to that.
You see, Lagos State has been run in a tokenist form for a very long time. There are things that are done to get the headlines. Lagos is working, but millions of Lagosians are in Lagos, and they've normalized suffering. Because waking up at 4 a.m., not seeing your children before they go to school, right? Coming back at 12 p.m., right? There's so many people don't realize how many marriages have been broken because of just traffic in Lagos State.
when I come into office, first thing to do is to see how much of these children of ours I can take off the streets. How? I will go into partnership with the registered 5,000 private schools that we have in Lagos State. I want to see how many of them I can spread across your school. I'll give them uniform, give them learning aids, give them anything in exchange for incentives or tax holiday.
Now, I'm sure of one thing. This movement will forever be remembered. The first time the ruling party in Lagos will ever feel challenged. Although APC too keep fighting back. In fact, these parties, APC, Labour Party, and PDP, they keep releasing disgraceful info about the opposition parties.
this one wants to run for Lagos State. This nigga is high as fuck. He's high. On national TV, chewing gum. Roll. This is a junkie now.
And it didn't stop there. They even released a WAEC results they claim belong to Jandor, where it's called 3 F9s. And I understand why Sanwo-Olu is shaking, going from door to door to campaign.
Let's go, bro. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're welcome, long time, man. I ain't exposing a billionaire. There's trouble there, now. There's trouble. You go there, go change again. Yes, sir. Welcome, sir. Yes, sir. Just like 42. Where's you know? Just like 42. Yeah, you know, though. Yes, I see. Yes, 32. There's one. Yeah, tall. Yes, sir. You're right. I'll come and they'll send something. Thank you. Thank you, sir. How's your guy? Hello?
Have you been with me?
No, with the party.
No, it's different.
It's the same thing.
Tell me.
So what's going to be different? What's different about what you are going to do this time?
The
So the same thing you are saying
No,
now.
let me
is
explain to you.
That's the same thing Ambody said. So
No,
what's different now?
the difference, I'm talking to you. He never did. I'm talking to all of you. He never did. I'm listening.
Campaign
No, it is the fact that somebody just spoke to me now. Listen. When I was coming, you know why?
I mean, this guy even finally addressed the Lekki tollgate shooting after a very long time. Same man who ignored Lagosians at the time. Nigerians, especially Lagosians, were expecting answers to the questions about the Lekki tollgate shooting.
I didn't have control. I don't control the police. I don't control the media. We've still on the conversation just to do state police. We've been on it for 3-4 years. When they ask, who ordered the shooting and also who ordered for a CPS not to listen to me when I went to Magodo the other day. So you can see who ordered that. We had election last Saturday. There were more military out there, than police. Who ordered? It's not in my remit. It's not in my space. But if we just drop it for 1 second and just do a role play, right, and ask what were my own actions before, during, and after. I went out that night. I went to all the hospitals, that we could have patients. I went out at 12 midnight, right, and I saw things for myself. And I reported what I saw.
Well, a Spanish philosopher once said that never compete with someone who has nothing to lose. It is true that if you compete with someone who has nothing to lose, you might be defeated in that race. A person who has nothing to lose has no fear. And that's what is happening. That's why Sanwo-Olu is really shaking. And wait, what's this whole battle of SANS? Tinubu hired 12 SANS and Atiku hired 19 SANS to challenge presidential results. Labour Party have accused the INEC severally. They suspect that the INEC is a faction of APC, the way they are going about this thing. Labour Party, while in courts, claim that INEC is persuading the court to grant them access to reconfigure the BIVAS machine ahead of the governorship election. They said if this is done, just know that all the physical evidence is gone. The courts said INEC can reconfigure this BIVAS. So INEC, you guys can go ahead and reconfigure it, but keep the data of the presidential election in a storage end. So no loss of data.
The court, however, refused the request of the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, seeking to stop INEC from reconfiguring the BIVAS. The court held that granting the request will jeopardize the electoral body's process and the conduct of the 11th March election. The court agreed with INEC that the information contained in the BIVAS will be stored in its back-end server, admission to which the Labour Party did not object.
But Labour Party insists that it should not be reconfigured at all. That is going to give INEC an opportunity to do whatever they like with the results at hand. And even though it doesn't tally before, that they will make sure it tallies with the result out there before they could see it. Now, the ruling is court has granted Labour Party access to inspect BIVAS and they will get issued certified copy of contents before reconfiguring content on the BIVAS.
The fact that the last election was held for presidential, the entire system was configured to fit into presidential election. Now that we are going into the governorship election, there's supposed to be a requirement whereby you have to reconfigure the system to fit into the governorship election.
In the midst of accusations of integrity?
Yeah, but this is technology process. You have archiving. These activities of the election can be archived to another place. Some people that want the result to be vindicated when they go to court, the results are tenderable. I'm sure INEC have the legal proceedings to tender these results. So we shouldn't unnecessarily be hitting up the polity because they say they will reset. It's a normal thing. I have to kill a reset to make you change you to her. It's always like that. It has nothing to do with any difference. Therefore, I'm very confident about the process.
Peter Obi and Labour Party were granted permission to inspect INEC materials. Likewise, Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his team. Now, I saw Reno Mokri's post recently. Reno Mokri said that Tinubu did intelligent rigging. At least he used his conscience to give small votes to other candidates. Renomark continued here. Peter Obi's rigging was so unintelligent. In the history of Nigeria, when and where have you heard of a candidate getting 97% in some areas in the southeast? Oh, God. Now, guys, let's talk about the news of Wike helping Tinubu rig the election. Wike actually reacted to that. He said, each time I went for a campaign, nobody has ever heard me criticize Obi. Nobody has ever heard me criticize Asiwaju. I owe nobody any apology that people voted for the Southern presidency.
Each time I went out for campaign, nobody has heard me criticize Obi. Have I ever done that? No. Nobody has heard me criticize Asiwaju. Have I ever done that? No way. What I did, and I owe nobody any apologies. Vote for the Southern president, whoever you want to.
Now, there's been a lot of controversy as regards the BIVAS machine. Should we trust the BIVAS machine? Is something truly wrong with the BIVAS machine? I mean, the governorship election has been postponed. Now, March 18th, like I said earlier.
When INEC said they are going to reset the BIVAS devices, I'm a technology person. If I configure something to work for you, immediately I'm changing it to work for her. I will have to change it to schematic that fits into her own profile.
Can we trust the BIVAS this time? Some party leaders like Wanyang said that there's nothing wrong with the BIVAS machine, but something is wrong with the people handling the BIVAS.
Sheung, let me start with the BIVAS. BIVAS, there is nothing wrong with the BIVAS machine. It is the way to go. But something is wrong with people operating the BIVAS.
Well, maybe he has a point. Just yesterday, Army recovers 1,671 PVCs, ballots papers, in an apartment at Olodi Apapa. We don't really know who's actually behind that, like the party behind that. But according to report, 3 people has been arrested so far concerning that. Some reports even claim that INEC BIVAS machine was developed in Nigeria by a Nigerian who was transferred from INEC's ICT department in November 2022 to Enugu office to work as an administrative secretary because he refused to be induced to compromise the BIVAS. So, because this guy refused to compromise the BIVAS, according to report, he was transferred to Enugu office to work as an administrative secretary.
And this story is about a certain Chidi Nwafo, who until November last year, thereabout, was the director of IT at INEC headquarters. And he was transferred to Enugu State as, guess what, my brother? Administrative secretary.
INEC had consistently denied claims that the BIVAS compromised, and they said that there's a mechanism that they go through before results are made public or before the results are published. They ensure that they verify this result before they put it out there.
When we send the result to the cloud, right, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be published right away. There's a mechanism that we go through. I mean, I don't want to expose all our, security systems, but it is being verified and, authenticated to make sure that the result that comes is the right result. And if there's any dispute in the result, it is resolved before it is made published. You don't want to publish a result if it's not authenticated. If you're not sure of the result that is being, what if they made a mistake? Maybe when they were doing, maybe the way they were adding it up, and maybe the coalition officer made a mistake. Somebody has to verify that. What if the coalition officer is being colluded with some party agents and they decide to change the numbers? So you have to have, it's like, you know, you have somebody watching somebody to ensure that whatever we put out there is the authentic result.
Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. And guys, like this video and subscribe if you're yet to do so for more videos. Till we see you next time. Peace.